This tutorial is designed to help you understand how to use the app called Slack. In today's busy world, a lot of people don't have time to meet all the time or to send out a whole bunch of emails. And so Slack provides a really great, very functional, very flexible platform for us to use for our ministry needs. And as you work with particularly me on various projects here at church, there's a number of different Slack teams that you can be a part of. And so once you get in on the app and the program and all the cool technology it's got, uh, you'll be able to just continue using that same platform you've learned from team to team and from committee to committee. So step one will be to go to your app store and download the Slack app. This is a free app, and so it's really easy to use. Now, once you've downloaded the app, you can take the invite that I've sent you. You'll need to click the link and set up an account. After you set up the account, you can go to the login screen on your app, and you'll enter in Willcrest Baptist Church as the team name, and then you'll enter in the username and the password that you set up. When you open the app, it will usually default to the general thread or whichever the thread you were last in. Now, inside the app, you can swipe right or left at any time, and it will pull you up a level or down a level in your menus. Or you can touch that little hashtag-looking button at the top left-hand side. The first thing that we need to do, and you were probably asked this in the setup questions, is make sure you have notifications turned on. One problem that a lot of people get into is that they don't turn on notifications, and then the app doesn't notify them that there's an ongoing discussion. Decisions are made, conversations are started, problems are solved, and then they see it later and they go, wait a second, why wasn't I in on this? Well, you weren't in on this because you didn't turn on notifications. Or some people turn on notifications when it only notifies, when it only tags them. So you can tag a person in a comment, but if you're having just a general discussion that you want everybody in on, most people don't tag everybody in the discussion. One of the upsides of using Slack is that when you're on a team, you don't have to have the email address for everybody, the phone number for everybody. All of that is contained within Slack. And so you don't have to remember whose names to add or take off as the group changes and you send out a group email. We administrate that from the back end, and then you can just continue talking and everybody is getting it. So if you see those in the top right corner, there's three dots. If you tap that, that will open up this side menu. So there's yours truly. And if you go down to the bottom, you can see settings. But in this particular menu, there's a lot of really great stuff. There's that @activity, that's things that I am personally tagged in. Starred items are things that I've saved. So if you push and hold on someone's comment or your own, you can star an item and it will kind of collect them all here. Then there's your files, and which is files that you can share, Word documents, PowerPoints, PDFs, etc., that can be dropped into the stream here. You can also share from Dropbox or other apps like Trello that you might be using for organization. You can post in polls, quick polls, or SurveyMonkey or anything like that. And so we'll be using some of this during the training. The directory is really great because it will give you the list of everybody that's in that particular team. And so if you need to contact someone or see who's in the team, that's where you can do it. Down below that bar there, you have snooze notifications. Sometimes you might be in a meeting and everybody's having a conversation and you just need your phone to not be dinging at you. All you do, tap those right three buttons and then click snooze notifications, and it'll let you turn them off for a little bit. You can also set quiet time hours, so if you don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night because somebody works an overnight shift and that's when they're answering comments, you can set your snooze hours here in the settings as well. But that bottom one right there is the settings, and that's where we're going to look at notifications. One final thing, edit profile. It's really great if you put up your own contact information into your profile, so if someone does need to call you, they've got all of that information right there. Also, adding a profile picture helps kind of personalize it and keeps us all knowing, putting names with faces and that kind of thing. So tap that settings button. That will bring you to this screen right here. Now you can see that do not disturb in that middle block of options. The do not disturb, that's the feature I was telling you where you can set it to sleep for a little bit. But click that push notifications, and when you click it, it will open up this second screen. It says send me push notifications for, and then it will let you pick. A lot of people will say only direct messages. Don't click this one, otherwise you'll be left out of the conversation. Click activity of any kind. Now, one thing you can do is you can set notifications thread by thread. So the general thread has everybody in it, and I'll show you where you can find those in a moment. But the general thread has everybody in it, in the entire, anybody in Willcrest that is using the app is in there. So you definitely don't want to post business about your team in the general thread. But let's just say someone started posting there and it wasn't relevant to you. You can turn notifications off for a particular thread. But hopefully for your Calypso team, you need to keep your notifications turned on. So as you discuss problems or challenges or try to schedule things in real time, the discussion can happen in real time without the need to call an extra meeting. So once your notifications are turned on, you can swipe left to get out of there. And when you keep swiping left, eventually you'll come back to here. So this is all, they're called channels. I keep saying threads, but they're called channels. And so you can see here, there's general and random. Everybody has access to these, and there's no lock on those channels. Then you can see down below that I have a series of private channels. And so essentially, you only see those channels if you are on those teams. And so you can see down there Calypso 1. I'll add some of you to this for training purposes before we break the teams out. But once we break the teams out, you'll each get your own, Calypso 1, 2, 3, or maybe it'll be geographic, Calypso downtown or something. But you'll each get your own grouping where it's just your team that's in it. I have a group there for deacons, for home group leaders, for missions committee. So again, as you move through various ministries at church, you can be added to these other teams for communication. So if you click Calypso 1 while you're in that channels tab, it will pull this up right here. And so this is the basic screen. Nobody's posted in here yet. It's just me. And so it says I set the channel purpose, that this is a place for team members to collaborate. But all you have to do to add a message is where it says message Calypso 1 down there. You just tap that and type away and click send, and it will post it right in there. Now remember, this is something that everybody on the team can see. If you want to see who's in the directory for this team, you can click the three dots up in the top right hand, and it will open that menu where you can see the directory for this particular team. If you swipe left again, you can then scroll down. That menu goes up and down, so you can see my private channels up there at the top. If I were to scroll up, it would show me those again. But scrolling down, it allows me to see direct messages. And so if I want to send a message to someone in particular, everybody who is in our Willcrest Church Slack team is listed here below. And so you can tap their name, or sometimes it doesn't list every single name. You might have to click the plus sign on direct messages, and then it will let you search for the name you're looking for. And so this is what happens when you click the plus. You just select whichever name that you want to put on there, that you want to talk to, and then it will open up the text message box. And so here it is. I'll pick on Kelly because he can handle it, and he'll give it back to me at some point, I'm sure. So here's a comment thread between Kelly and myself. And so this is something that only he and I can see. And so that concludes our training to use the Slack app. If you have any questions, please let me know. Sometimes it takes a little bit of learning how to use it, but I promise once you get involved using this, you will learn to love it, you will grow to love it, and it will become very, very practical. I know for me, I have a half dozen email accounts, a couple different phone numbers, lots of different social media platforms, and so people are always messaging me through all of that. When that happens, messages get lost, and it just gets buried in a deluge of information that's hitting me. For Slack, when someone messages me there or types into one of the threads there, immediately I know, hey, this is ministry stuff, and so it kind of goes up in priority in terms of how I view the information stream coming into my computer and phone and everything every single day. And so hopefully you can see the same thing and see the benefit in that, where It keeps all of your Willcrest stuff, all of your mission stuff, all neatly categorized in one place for you to find that information there.